This is my very first time not only riding Tail of the Dragon, but also riding the 2024 MT-09 SP. And I'll be totally honest, nothing makes me question my existence more like bracing for a ride I've never been on a bike I'm not familiar with a bunch of people I've never met. So let me explain how I got here. All right, so I've been editing for Doodle for almost 2 years now. And last fall, Yamaha reached out to Doodle and asked if she wanted to test the brand new MT-09 SP on Tail of the Dragon. But this collided with Doodle's lock and lean training, so she asked me if I wanted to go. But I had just had baby number 2 and I was struggling. I was struggling physically and I was struggling mentally. Not only had I not been riding much at all, but this ride was gonna be led by Josh Hayes. The Josh Hayes. You know, the 4-time AMA Superbike champion? All right, Yamaha, I see you. I also like to call him Melissa Paris's husband. All hail Melissa Paris. But I am a die-hard XSR 900 fan, like huge. And so instead of just passing up this incredible opportunity, I knew I had to go. I had to go and find out why people go to Tail of the Dragon. The Tail of the Dragon boasts 318 relentless tight turns in just over 11 miles, creating a magnetic allure that attracts every type of rider, despite its notorious history of crashes, all sorts of threats, and fatalities. But this road isn't merely just a challenge, it's a journey into the soul of motorcycling. So this is the first press launch that I've been to where everybody is a racer. And I'm a postpartum mother who has barely ridden a motorcycle for the last year and a half. And on the ride in, we took Tail of the Dragon and it was nauseating in a van, so hopefully it's better on a motorcycle. Just ride your ride. Just ride your ride. So I have successfully completed the first task, which is not dropping it in front of all of these moto journalist racers, including Josh Hayes. My full review of the MT-09 SP is coming soon, so stay tuned. This road was born out of necessity. You know, crafted by locals to connect remote terrain on the Tennessee-North Carolina border. And this road definitely wasn't designed to thrill. It was built to conquer the incredibly steeply graded and remote terrain. And over time, what was a practical route for logging communities, it was also a trail where Cherokee Native Americans fled from the American Army during the Trail of Tears. This is a really important ley line, energetically speaking. But of course, slowly over time, this became a magnet for adrenaline junkies. Or as I like to call them, the seekers of meaning. Squids, seekers of meaning, same thing. I strongly believe that a great road is built upon a powerful energy or magnetic resonance of the land beneath it. You might be wondering why I look like a really cool ADV cop in front of Yamaha's production crew. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that the night before I flew out, I pulled out my helmet and it had a cracked visor. So I had to grab my Dual Sport Boy. But the cop glasses part, the cool cop part that made people respect me subconsciously, that was all flying eyes. These glasses fit so comfortably under helmets, you'll forget you're even wearing them. No more painful pressure points. And they're built tough for on-road or off-road adventures. Plus, they block 100% of UV light to keep your eyes safe from harsh sun and glare, which you're gonna need on Tail of the Dragon because that road is crazy, fun, and it has wild elevation and blind spots. Worried about missing slick spots on the road? These non-polarized lenses ensure you still see every hazard. And Flying Eyes backs it up with a lifetime frame warranty. So just protect your eyes, okay? Get yourself a pair of Flying Eyes, use code DOODLE10 to get 10% off your next pair so you can look as cool as me on Tail of the Dragon. So riding out there wasn't just about speed, because I live by Lime Creek Road in Austin. And that road is all about speed. And the people out there are ruthless, they're aggressive, they crash all the time, and they're not very nice. I remember being on my Svart peeling, and I'm not curving it up, it's a fun road. And this dude almost clipped me. No helmet, No foot protection. He was wearing flip-flops and he was definitely on a Kawasaki. But Tail of the Dragon is different. It's completely remote. And on top of that, you know, Deal's Gap and everybody you meet at the little places along the way were so sweet and nice. And when people passed you on Tail of the Dragon, they did it with respect. And that's what, to me, really separated that from other roads that I've been on besides Lime Creek roads, like a lot of the awesome roads in Sturgis and other thing, like people just like barely clipping you, wanting you to get out of the way. There's something about Tail of the Dragon in this road, because it's almost like a roller coaster, it allows you to enter this flow state. It's like every moment, like every curve was meditative and a thrill at the same time. Then how often do you get to do that in your everyday life? Like how often are you finding a hobby where you can tap into the flow state and have an exhilarating thrill at the same time? It's like, this is raw affirmation of being alive. Riding that road is a rebellion against the mundane. I'm gonna say it. There, I said it. That's how I feel. I'm not kidding. This is church, baby. This is church. And the MT-09 SP is the best pastor, hands down.
This is one hell of a way to get reacclimated on my postpartum journey.
Hey, this comes to the surprise of nobody, but I can't keep up. I don't know, I feel out of practice already, but I will say that the MT-09 SP makes it a lot easier to just whip it in corners and try to keep up as much as I possibly can. I mean, this road represents freedom. The ability to navigate it on one's own terms. In the sense of liberation from those societal constraints are deeply existential, reflecting on the human desire for autonomy and self-determination.
There's something deeply medicinal about always like dipping a toe to face your mortality. I don't know what it is. It could be because as we evolve as a modern society, we kind of lose the things that ground us to our purpose. And so what better way to do it than in 2024 than to buy a nice motorcycle and go as fast as you're legally allowed to, and just really toe the line between flow state, devastation. I mean, it's a whole roller coaster of emotions. It's confidence building, it's awe-inspiring, it's calming, it's invigorating, it can be terrifying. It's, I guess, now that I think about it, it's almost like a simulator for living in the wilderness. This is about as wild as it's gonna get in 2024.
I'm not having an existential crisis yet, but I typically do as the day goes on and I lose my mental facilities. The combo of this ride and this motorcycle eliminates a lot of the anxious chatter that one might have in their brain, which is a big reason why we ride, right? Is to have something to focus on, have fun doing it, and go fast and face our mortality. Definitely just almost dropped my bike trying to do a U-turn in the middle of the road for a drone shot. Really glad that didn't happen. Would have had to call Doodle. Doodle, help. I need to do 100 U-turns every day for 30 days. Come on, we're riding to escape. I know it, you know it. Riding a motorcycle is way more like horseback riding than sitting in a car. It is all about just escaping what crushes us, which is society. Come on, you agree, don't you? I would venture to say that 60% of Tail of the Dragon riders, they're all on a quest to find out the true meaning of life. And they might say, no, it's just a fun road. I'm just here to have fun. We all know that that's a lie. Deep down, we all share the same human experience. And a motorcycle does a really good job of unearthing that and kind of scrubbing off the rust that the daily grind leaves on our souls.
Just something magical about 13 MT09 SPs hanging out together in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee.
I struggled deeply with anxiety and depression. And when I first started riding my 1965 CB160, I got off all of my meds because it was like finally enough was going on physically and mentally where I could just dispel a lot of cerebral pressure. I mean, it was life-changing for me, and I never went back to not riding. I mean, I moved from Minnesota to Texas because I never wanted to take a long chunk of the year off from riding. I changed my whole life around it. So riding a road like this can really freak someone like me out. But there's something about the intense focus and engagement that the tail of the dragon requires from the rider that serves as a powerful affirmation of existence. I hate to say it, come on guys, but these were the thoughts that I had when I was out there. These powerful affirmations break me away from my day-to-day habitual thinking. I get to be fully present and engaged in a really meaningful way. And there's something too about facing the unknown, right? I got to ride this road for the very first time. And facing the unknown mirrors existence. This mirrors the existential condition of facing an uncertain future, where each decision shapes one's journeys and ultimately their life. So come on, Tail of the Dragon isn't just about fun. I know that people say that, and I know people are gonna say that down in the comments, but I know the real reason why you go. It isn't just a challenge. It's freedom incarnate. Each turn is a new opportunity to shape your journey, embrace the unknown, and discover your true self. And with roads like this, it's not necessarily just about the rush. It's a chance to learn a little bit more about ourselves along the way. And if you want to check out the Doodle crew learning more about themselves and each other, then click right over here.